Sam, it started with one specific post, did it not?
Yes. Okay, so Michael Che, we all know him from Weekend Update, the anchor on SNL.
Yeah.
Well, he had a couple of jokes that he wrote on social media in response to this catcalling video. So the first post reads, in part, quote, "I want to apologize to all the women that I've harassed with statements like hi or have a nice day or you're beautiful. I can't imagine what that must feel like." Then came a follow-up post which reads in part, quote, "I want to apologize for my last apology. Sometimes I forget that I belong to all of you now and that any thought I should have be filtered through you and receive your approval. I'm used to taking risks and finding humor in places of discomfort, but that's all over because I have a job on TV." Now cut to you and Adam Carolla. How did you guys get involved in all of this?
Okay, so I was on Adam's podcast, the Adam Carolla Show, yesterday. Was that yesterday? And I sort of tweeted out, somebody tweeted that we were talking about it, and I mentioned it on Twitter, and Michael Che responded with "what I do now," and I didn't know what he meant by that. And Adam's on the phone. Adam, are you there with us?
Yes, I am.
So apparently what he meant by that was, what did I do this time? Now what have I done? It's supposed to what I do now, like I read it, like some sort of robot. But ultimately, you were coming to his defense to be able to express himself, to, in fact, just be a comedian, right?
Well, I mean, we started by silencing, I don't know, politicians and officials, but we worked our way to comedians. If you think about it, you used to be able to say things as a comedian you could not say as a politician, and you couldn't say as somebody who ran a university or even a Fortune 500 company. We used to let comedians say what they wanted to say, right?
Yeah, I mean that was the whole idea, to push the envelope, to make us laugh at ourselves.
Yeah, or not. But either way, that was the comedian's job. It was, we used to get uptight when we saw or heard politicians saying things, or clergy, or leaders of one kind or another. I mean, people in a position of responsibility. Comedians, it's their job to say things that aren't responsible. They make jokes. They may mean a lot of the things they say, but they're still comedians. They don't run universities or companies. It's insane what we've decided to do with comedians. And as I was sitting thinking about this, Drew, because I'm always trying to think about this from a sort of psychological angle. Like, when did we all turn into this? Yeah. When did the Schadenfreude thing really kick into overdrive? Because that's all it is. Yes. Nobody really cares what this guy said, what that guy said, or what I said. Nobody's ever really offended. They're offended on behalf of other people, but it's never the people you're talking about that are actually offended.
And Adam,
it is. It's 99%
Vanessa, go ahead, address that.
That's not true at all, because as someone who has felt degraded by catcalls, who's been uncomfortable, who almost fear for their life because of an aggressive man, when someone online is making jokes about it, then these people are nowadays feel bullied. These people are killing themselves based on words on social media. And yeah, if you're a comedian, do it on the stage. Be funny on the stage. But when you have people, but they're killing themselves. And so when you are depressed, when you're clinically depressed, and you're online, and you see people saying and making jokes about something you're going through, yes, if you're depressed, you might take drastic measures.
And Vanessa and Leanne,
you're clinical depression. It's not words.
But it doesn't mean that they don't have the right to feel the way that they feel,
Leanne,
and if they see it, they feel
hang on,
that
Vanessa,
way.
slow down. Leanne, you were more supportive of Adam.
Yeah, I don't think he should have even apologized for what he said in the first tweet.
Well, but he had to, because he was going to lose his job.
Lose his job, Dr. Drew. He is a paid comedian on television.
Yeah, but he's with a company that might have an issue with exactly what Vanessa's talking about, in which case he could lose his job for speaking his mind.
But he's paid to be funny, and they're paid for satire. They're paid to be on SNL.
Not on Twitter.
They're supposed to be provocative. They need numbers and viewership, so this is probably a good thing.
They don't get a check from Twitter.
Guys, I have to say that when it comes to comedians and it comes to that, I've seen it time again where they make these comments and then they feel quick, like they have to apologize. I feel that we should allow them some leverage to be creative and express themselves. That's what sometimes these bad jokes make them funny.
Adam, the critics agree.